You know that toxic asset program that I told you was so stupid and ridiculous? That's the one I did the whiteboard on. You remember that fun segment? And I was like, you see how the numbers add up? And in the end, it's a transfer of money from American taxpayers to the bankers. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. When you do the math, the conclusion is inescapable. And at the time, some believed it and thought it made sense, and others said, oh, now, look, you say it's inescapable and it has to be that way, but I'm not sure I trust your math. Well, apparently the bankers trusted my math, because you know what they did? And this is amazing. They bought more toxic assets. When they heard the toxic asset program was coming, they're like, cha-ching! We're going to make cash off that. That's going to be easy money. So what did they do? Instead of getting rid of their toxic assets, which was the whole point of the program in the first place, they said, no, let's buy more. The big four, Bank of America, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs, have added $2.74 billion of toxic assets, mortgage debt, depending on however you want to call it, it's the same thing, since March of this year. Now, why do you think they added $2.74 billion of toxic assets? Because they're going to make money off of it, because we're suckers. We're the ones paying for it. And since we announced the toxic asset program, its value, the value of those stocks, of those assets, have nearly doubled. They went from, I think, about 35 cents on the dollar, because nobody was sure of their value and they looked like junk, to 58 cents on the dollar. Gee, I wonder how that happened. It's because idiot Tim Geithner stepped in and said, oh, don't worry about it, we'll cover it. Look, on this alone, Tim Geithner should be fired. Now, I've told you 28 reasons why Tim Geithner should be fired, but think about it. If his stated purpose is, hey, don't worry, I'm going to funnel in all this money to the bankers, but don't worry, it's to get rid of their toxic assets so they can get healthy. And at the end of the year, they have more toxic assets because they're taking advantage of the dupe, Tim Geithner. He's either a dupe and doesn't understand anything about economics. How could I, as a stupid talk show host, know more about finance than Tim Geithner, our Treasury Secretary? Like, if I gave him that stupid whiteboard presentation to Obama, Geithner and Summers would have been like, oh, you're right. Look at this kid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We're geniuses. We're economic geniuses. That won't happen. And guess what? It happened. But how does it take this long to figure it out? Did you not see the big four buying all those toxic assets? Did that escape your attention as Treasury Secretary? And is there no responsibility? Is there no culpability? I mean, Janet Napolitano, during this whole undie bomber nonsense, came out and said, oh, the system worked. Now, she misspoke, and of course she couldn't have possibly meant that the system actually worked, because a passenger had to tackle the guy for the quote-unquote. Is that part of the system where the passengers have to tackle people? I don't know. They didn't tell me that. Now, so did Janet Napolitano screw up by saying that? Absolutely. She shouldn't have said that. Should there be some consequences? Yes, I get it. It's politics, right? But that's not the underlying issue. But she caught hell for that. Tim Geithner, on the other hand, screws up one thing after another. He's like, oh, look at that, the toxic asset program, they added more toxic assets. I didn't see that coming. And nothing, no criticism, nothing, he's totally fine. Now, of course, the problem is, why does Tim Geithner escape that kind of criticism? And of course, there's been some criticism of Geithner, but nobody's calling for his head on the Republican side. Of course, Democrats, they don't want to, oh, you don't want to attack a Democratic president. Oh, he's a Democratic president, bow, 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 right? Okay, so why aren't the Republicans attacking him? Because the Republicans are in bed with the bankers. So they're like, oh, the bankers got more money? That's awesome. Oh, like, oh, Tim, he's doing a bad job. Okay, let's go back to Napolitano. They should be shredding him on this. If they were really the political opposition and they actually cared about you, the American people, they'd be destroying Geithner on this. Instead, not a word about it. Because both the parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they're perfectly happy to funnel your money to corporate America and to the top banks in the world and hush up about it. Only after it gains tremendous populist anger will they pretend to care.